What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Boyos Discuss, the podcast where we pick a topic and then shoot the shit about it for a while. This week, we're continuing our Shrek review series with Shrek 2. I'm joined by my co-host Harlan,
Hey guys, how you doing?
Ross,
Howdy do.
and Ben.
Yo.
So this past week, we actually had an actor from Shrek 2 pass away. It was Larry King. He apparently played the ugly stepsister, which I didn't know that for the longest time. Pretty much until that happened, people were like, "Oh, that's such a big deal." He was in that movie, and that was, I guess, the first animated movie that he had done. Because prior to
Yeah,
that, you had people just do like impressions. Like I think Robin Williams in Aladdin did a Larry King impression, if I recall correctly. But
yeah, it was the one where he was sitting on the desk and had the yeah.
yeah, yeah. But so that was the first one, at least according to the trivia that I had looked up, that he actually did. So that was kind of an interesting thing, but it's sad
I'm
nonetheless.
glad I
Definitely
couldn't
sounded
tell that
like
it
a
was
man.
Larry King. Yeah, like if
Oh,
it
me
sounded
neither.
like Larry King, it'd be like, is what?
It would be completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Uh,
would
I mean,
like
in B
if
movie, he played B Larry King, so there it
yeah,
made sense,
but that was just like the cameo. Yeah,
right? Well, I thought that's where he started his animated stardom, so I guess I was wrong.
No, he's a full-on actor,
Damn,
animated style.
that's crazy.
So I guess the
worth
first thing we should talk about is
That's the
what were
word.
y'all's initial thoughts on the movie, seeing it like when you were a kid? Because it did come out 3 years after the first one. We kind of talked about it in the previous episode that a lot of us were either too young to remember seeing it in theater, the first one in theaters, or we just didn't. So this one came out a little later, so I was wondering if y'all had any memories of seeing it there or not.
On this one, I'm actually pretty sure that I didn't see it in theaters. I remember just seeing it on like DVD. We had the DVD that had the Far Far Away Idol at the end.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I watched that so many times that so when I was
You
watching
break
when
this one
I
too?
yeah we did, of course we did, dude. We had no respect for our DVDs. We were hoodlums, and like so when we were watching it, we watched the Far Far Away Idol so many times it would like skip and certain like characters we couldn't pick, it would just like stop the disc from working.
Damn.
And then um there was this other part. So like the part where the fairy godmother appears to Fiona for the first time and she's singing it and all the chairs
Oh
turn
yeah, in
into
the
animals
bubble.
and
That's a
everything.
great one. Yeah.
Yeah. So that scene never worked. It would be
Oh.
hello and then skip the whole thing and then it would be like Fiona crying. So I never
Hashtag
actually watched
unlucky.
it. Yeah, but still a great experience. Super
Like,
nostalgia for
that's
it.
a weird edit they did.
Yeah.
I'm glad that y'all. The first thing you talk about is the Far Far Away Idol, because honestly, when I watched this as a kid, I know we watched the DVD. My brother
Jesus.
is
Sorry, guys.
You're good,
my
man.
brother is
It
4 years older than me, so he was like way more into it. I was just a little fucking kid. I was like, "What was this?" So I don't really remember the movie. I remember the giant gingerbread
Uh-huh,
guy.
Mongo.
I
Yeah.
remember Handsome Shrek, Fairy
Who's
Godmother,
weirdly
and then
hot, yeah.
and then Far
Okay,
Far
so
Away
Handsome
Idol was
Shrek.
like the
Wait.
actual movie I paid attention to.
Dude, Far Far Away Idol was just so much fun because you could actually interact with it. At least for
Right,
me,
because
I
Yeah.
like
was
the
like,
first
dude,
Well,
time
I
I
if
can
if
fuck
we just
around with
want to
this.
get
It's
right into
awesome.
that, we can.
Well,
So
sure.
Well, so I wanted to say real quick about like Handsome Shrek. Um, he looks kind of like Mike Myers, like
yeah,
actually,
that was the thing in
like
the
weirdly
IMDb
so.
the trivia. They like
Oh.
modeled him after Mike Myers.
Dude, but Mike
Really?
Myers isn't
Okay.
hot. Handsome
Yeah,
Shrek
no
is
wonder
like,
I never thought
I
Handsome
was
Shrek was that
shocked.
hot.
Okay,
I,
Mike
he
Myers
was
is
so
hot.
hot, man.
I don't
Have
think
you
10
he's
out
never
of
Shrek is
10.
way
watched
hot.
hotter
I
still.
Austin
think he's
Powers?
better looking than Shrek, but
Oh, dude, well, you're
I
wrong.
think
Sorry.
Handsome Shrek is good looking.
I thought he
Yeah.
was as well. Yeah.
Like those girls, I would be exactly like one of them. If I woke up and saw that guy in my barn. Oh yeah.
Bro, you know they could do better. Look what they did to fucking Squidward, all right? And then like Shrek can't look that good. It's stupid. He looked like a person. He didn't have any flaws or anything. He looked like a dude. I don't know. Everyone was like, "Oh my god, he's beautiful."
I don't know,
I
man.
don't
He
know.
was kind
He's
of
pretty
ripped,
good
and he had
looking.
a hairy chest, and all that. You
Good
know?
jawline, good
Yeah,
hair.
He'd make a good porn star, I guess.
Uh,
I mean,
In
probably.
the 80s, I guess.
Right.
all right, though. Back to Far, Far Away Idol. Do we just want to get into that? Because, I mean, we
Sure,
kind
let's
of...
jump to it.
All right,
Yeah.
so who did y'all vote for?
I voted for Donkey.
That's okay. I don't know
Disco
why.
Inferno.
Yeah.
So I voted for The Wolf and the Three Little Pigs because
Nice.
one, Hungry Like the Wolf is a bomb ass song, and also like that's a perfect meme. Like I know they fit the songs to the people, but that's 10 out of 10 meme. But I think the mice were actually the best quality singers, definitely by far.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
dude.
we're
Okay,
talking
They actually
one
best
thing I
sounded
wanted
quality
to
okay.
say.
singer, no, wait. 100% best quality singer was fucking Simon Pegg at the end doing My Way.
No, Simon
That was
Okay.
the
Cowell.
best.
Simon Cowell. Yeah, okay, so one
Yeah.
of the things I wanted to
yeah,
say
not
about
Simon
the
Pegg.
yeah,
Uh,
that would be completely different. So one of the things I wanted to say about that was so Captain Hook sings through, sorry guys. Captain Hook actually sings throughout the entire movie, but then when he gets to Far Far Away Idol, he like I guess cracks because he sounds like crap. Like straight up
I
just
actually
horrible.
voted for Captain Hook.
Really?
Yeah, because I
I
like
think
He
the
was
he
pun.
sounded
alright.
I like the
horrible.
pun. It's
Yeah.
good.
I
Hooked on a
voted
Yeah.
for
feeling.
his song choice. He had a good song
Yeah,
choice for
yeah.
being Captain Hook, I guess.
Although
Yeah,
I
but
guess like mine might have been my opinions might have been influenced by the garbage video quality of the YouTube I
Yeah.
found
Right.
on it because couldn't really find it anywhere else.
Well, now, Simon Cowell sang the best, but I couldn't vote for him. So who I
Well, that
voted
wasn't
for?
actually Simon singing.
yeah.
Well,
Because Simon
okay.
Yeah,
Cowell
don't you
When
can't
they
know that?
sing.
resurrect fucking
Come on.
Frank Sinatra,
I think it was
because it
just Frank
was pretty
Sinatra,
it's
yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I liked Puss in Boots because any excuse to hear Antonio Banderas.
Oh, yeah.
is good.
Have you
He's
seen
actually a
Evita?
really good
He
singer.
could do the William Shatner read through of Rocket Man, and I think I'd still vote for him.
Yeah.
So no, the best song ever created is Eddie Murphy's what is it? Party All the Time.
I mean, I know he
Yeah,
did a
it's
full
the best
album.
song ever.
Like,
I will say, though,
It's a
the
good
roughest
movie.
one was probably Mike Myers singing.
yes,
That was
Oh, yeah,
because
it
he
was
didn't even sound like
bad.
Shrek. He
Yeah.
just was like, "What I like about you," and it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
"What the fuck is this?"
Yeah, that was nuts.
I mean, maybe it's difficult to sound like Shrek and sing at the same time. Maybe that's why he
And
didn't
it
sing
like
the
he
whole
like
You know what
brought
it
it
did
an
to me?
octave down. I think that was part of
You
the
know what it
problem.
did to me that a Shrek movie should never do. It reminded me that Mike Myers was supposed to be in love with Cameron Diaz. I'm like, no, it's Shrek and Fiona. Like, don't make me think about these two next to each other, like pretending like they love each other. Like, I don't want to see Mike Myers and Cameron Diaz next to each other. So I just heard their voices and I was like, oh, it reminded me of that. Ooh, Mike Myers. Ooh.
No.
Gross.
Nah,
Yeah,
I
I knew
think
who I
movie.
was voting for at that point, so I mostly skipped through theirs because they were last.
Wow.
I mean, they sucked.
I mean, they cheated anyways. They were
Yeah.
they were the judges. They're not supposed to compete. What the hell?
True.
Yeah,
Simon got him on that one.
Yeah.
that's right.
All right, we back to talk about the movie?
I mean,
Oh yeah.
the only other thing I'd really like to say about that is just including like an American Idol parody is such a 2000s thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like in anything, like
Yeah,
that's just it's so weird how the cultural relevance of that show. Like if you pitched that today, the fucking people in the the director's seat would be like, "No, that's stupid. No one watches American Idol anymore." Like
Or
just
Yeah.
even with
for the time.
like the most relevant competition music show still wouldn't fit.
like the
Like
Masked
even the
Yeah.
one
Singer
for
or
today.
something.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like
maybe you
people
could
would
do
be like,
something
"What the
like
hell is that?
Yeah, yeah.
Why is that in the movie though?"
Yeah. So that's
American
just
Idol was kind of like completely different. American Idol was kind of what spawned.
True. I mean, it was
Yeah.
bomb back in the day.
oh yeah, for sure, yeah.
Well,
But,
now that I know that Larry King was the one singing "Girls Just Want to Have Fun," I might need to change my vote.
That one's really good too. I like that one a lot.
I don't think he sang that.
Damn it!
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? The internet probably.
Uh.
But I mean, speaking of the parody of American Idol, though, this whole movie was like parodying just
Oh yeah,
Just
modern
like
day
Hollywood
shit.
culture.
Like
I count.
I
count
love
it.
I love the modern meets medieval /
yeah.
fairy tale kind of stuff. They did it so well.
Yeah.
It made the movie.
So
I
one of
At
the
least
got
things
for
I
me.
thought was really interesting was how like this movie was very surprisingly woke. Like honestly,
Oh
like
yeah,
dude.
for
There
dude.
are some good
time,
ass adult themes in this
yeah,
fucking movie.
Yeah.
I'm telling
yeah,
like.
like so many, and like all of the posters and the small things on the side that
Hmm.
you see, like with like it was like Stonehenge was the Stone Temple Pilots, and there was like Rapunzel was one of them, and different things like that. It was really interesting to see all the like the
Well, like
background stuff when I was
my
looking for
favorite thing that I guess my favorite joke in this movie was when Mongo's going through the streets and he sees Farbucks. You know, he's like,
Oh,
"Mer,"
it.
and he picks the
Yeah, and
coffee
they
cup
just
up.
run to
Well,
the next one.
everybody's like,
they
"Ah!" and
run
they run
across the
out.
street to another
That's
Farbucks.
yes,
Yeah.
that's the
Oh my
best. That
god,
was the
I'm
best
glad
joke in the
someone else
movie.
noticed that. Yeah.
Yeah, best joke in the movie.
Yeah.
But Harlan was talking about it being kind of woke in ways. Now, this may just be my impression that I got of it this time, but I thought that maybe like when Fiona and Shrek were meeting King and Queen, her parents, it seemed like it was almost addressing like bringing someone home of another race as your
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
partner.
dude, I thought
And
It's
that
like
too.
it's
the
a
parents being super disapproving, especially with how the dad's acting in it, it's
so
like,
this
wow.
is who in this chat has seen Guess Who's Coming to Dinner?
I have not.
Anybody?
I don't think
Okay,
I have.
I don't think
so
I
it's a
have.
movie from the '60s with
Definitely
what was
not
it?
then.
Something Sidney Poitier, and he's a super famous black actor. He's big. He broke a lot of barriers in the '60s and stuff. And that movie was about he's engaged to a white woman, and they meet her parents for the first time. And she's like, "I've met this man. He's special. I love him. He's smart. He did all this stuff." And they're like, "Oh, great! Can't I meet him?" And they're like, "Well, I brought him." And it's a black dude, and it's like liberal California setting, and wealthy
Yeah.
white parents. And then later in the movie, Poitier brings his parents into it, who are black, and both sides disapprove of what's going on, and they have to like work from the inside to convince the older generation. And it's like, look, like I love you, I want you to be a part of my life, but you can't get in the way of this. And it's like, this is a fucking childhood.
Yeah.
Guess who's coming to
Yeah.
dinner?
Yeah,
It's
dude,
crazy.
it's so weird. Like, because I haven't seen this movie in so long that when I saw that, I was like, is that what are they doing this? Wow, good for
I
Yeah.
them.
Well, and
totally
that's
thought it
like
was.
the first three movies. Like the first one is like about finding love, I guess, in unexpected places. This one's about like making it
Accepting who you
work. Yeah,
are.
and accepting who you are and like dealing with family issues as far as that goes. The third one's about like having kids.
Hey,
And
spoiler alert, man.
I mean, yeah, that's
Dude.
future spoilers, but
I don't think I've actually
it's
even
like
seen that one.
Well, it's crazy. Okay, so in this one, they were talking so much about him like changing so much and laying so much of the groundwork of him being the frog. Like, had you seen
yeah,
that? Like in the
yeah, there's
third
the
one,
lily
Oh yeah.
pads and the
the
painting
lily
of him in the
pads, they
back.
talk
Yeah.
about our first kiss, how much
Yes, yeah.
changed for her, like all of this stuff.
Oh, I didn't
And
I
notice
missed
It's
the
that. Yeah.
lily
and if
pads.
you notice, like when they're in the poisoned apple, the
the
toad is
frog
actually like,
lady,
"Do
yeah.
I know you?" And then like
Oh
it,
Oh,
shit!
they
dude.
lay the groundwork for that
Good
so
eye.
well. It's
You're
so
right.
beautiful.
That's
Yep.
awesome.
And you want to know something else I noticed that was kind of crazy, and this is more like for Puss in Boots, but like there's two things I noticed for him. One is that he doesn't say no throughout the entire movie except for once when Shrek tells him like to come or not to stay behind. But he's like, "No, I'm gonna save or I'm gonna repay you for saving my life." But Shrek never saved his life.
I
And
Yeah.
know.
when Puss
He
in Boots joins, he's just like, "Hey yo, oh, you saved my life from this kindness. May I join your crew?" And you're like,
he just
"Sure,
didn't kill him
whatever."
back for trying to kill him, basically.
Yeah.
Well, like he's
And
like,
then
"Oh,
he's
you
like,
didn't kill me when I was having a hairball. You're my new best friend."
"Yeah."
That's just kind of what it was.
I'm pretty sure Puss in Boots was just a stray cat that found some boots and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna be a hitman and find somebody to hang out with."
I don't know, man. That's pretty aggressive doggo stuff there.
Absolutely.
I took a few notes on the modern meets evil thing that I think are at
Oh
least
yeah.
relatively interesting. So, like the Friar Fat Boys fast food was pretty funny. The fairy godmother being basically like the dawn of the city, like head
Yeah.
of the city mafia. And then my favorite part was like knights instead of cops when they
that
had the
was great,
show,
yeah.
and they would use they would crack pepper in people's eyes instead of using pepper
When the
spray.
catnip
That
That
was
shit was
hilarious.
hilarious.
Weed.
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah, the catnip.
That's not
Okay, so
mine.
the other thing
I don't know, man. That was a
about
dime
that, like
bag.
the
You don't
fryers.
usually eat weed and dime bag.
Oh,
Well, maybe.
Yeah, you do.
I don't know drugs,
Yeah, you
man.
do.
So
I was thinking
the
harder,
fryers,
I guess.
the Friars frat boy or Friars frat boy just made me think like, is that supposed to be like a Catholic pedophile joke? Like it's the
Wow.
Friars
I don't
I
think
frat
don't
that's
think
boy.
how
God,
so.
I don't
kind
think
of-
at
I
so.
really
all.
don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
where's
don't
your mind
know. I
go
was
with
just
that one,
kind of
bro?
I
like,
do love how Prince Charming gets like a kid's meal though,
I'm
Yes.
medieval.
yeah.
and it has a fucking axe with it. Yeah.
Dude, like that modern meets medieval, it opened it opened up the writers to like all the wackiness. It was perfect.
So I made a note of every TV or movie reference, and I got 8. There was like, so they're making the wedding ring. They engrave it, and it's like, "Oh, I love you." When it's like hot,
Yeah.
the fucking Lord of the Rings,
Oh yeah.
and you got an upside down Spider-Man kiss. Like very
Yeah.
obviously wipes the mud off. The alien when Puss is coming out from under Shrek's shirt.
Oh yeah, I
They
got that
talk,
one
yeah.
for sure.
They talk about neutering Puss in Boots, and Donkey's like, "Give him the Bob Barker," and I'm like, "But what?"
Yeah.
And Indiana Jones, Puss gets his hat under the door. Joan Rivers on the red carpet. Knights, cops, and Mission Impossible prison breakout. I'm like, what fucking kids understand these references? Like these were
Dude,
all
it's all
for
for the
adults.
adults, man. But it's still interesting for the kids the
It
way they
is.
do it. It's like
Yeah.
they merge those just like in the first one. They merge the
Well, and it's
kid
crazy 'cause
interest and the adult
These
interest.
Well,
are
they
the
put-
first times you're seeing it as a kid. Like these, you see the reference before the source, so it kind of
That's
like
not even one of the craziest ones. I think the craziest reference that they expect, like that they put in a kids movie, was during that scene with the scene where they're like the fairy godmother is singing to Fiona that first time. When she shows "You'll be fit for a prince," they show Prince Andrew. Like
yeah. No, I know.
yeah,
Or Charles or whichever
Prince
one.
Charles,
Yeah,
not Prince
yeah,
Andrew.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
That
I
was
still
funny.
don't get that one.
It's one
So
of the
the United Kingdom is confirmed in Shrek World. So is Mexico, because Donkey
Yeah.
says,
I
"Oh,
love
really? Mexican food?"
Oh yeah.
So there are 2 real world countries, which is a little horrifying.
Yeah.
It's canon. They're part of it.
Mm-hmm. It's in there. There was one. It was so the potion that Fairy Godmother makes for Fiona to make her fall in love with Prince Charming had
Is
like
love
Roman
potion
numerals
number
on
9.
it. Yeah, I was like, I'm so smart. I got it.
Yeah,
Wait, it
dude.
had
I love
what?
that. It's love
So, like-
potion number 9 by the Searchers.
The bottle
Huh.
literally only had IX on it, like Roman numerals.
Oh,
and
I
it's the
gotcha,
number
I gotcha.
9, yeah.
Yeah,
So-
it was
well, what did
the
y'all
movie.
did y'all think the music was better in this one or the first one? Because I
This one.
think the music was way better in this one. 'Cause
Yeah,
it
I
had,
think the music's better in this one.
No,
it had
I'm sorry,
Funky
no.
Town, it had
Nope.
Changes, it had Holding Out for a Hero, La Vida Loca. Dude, the fucking music in this movie
Yeah.
So
slaps.
one of
Spops.
my favorite music pairing in this movie, Changes was really good. I liked it. I wish it went longer, but
Yeah.
the part where Shrek's like in bed and it's doing "I Need Some Sleep."
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That's a good
That's
song.
that's great.
Yeah.
That's like that just feels like Shrek. I don't know how to explain it. Where they pull a '90s song you wouldn't have heard of anyway,
Yeah.
and then they put it in there. It's like, oh, it works really well. But you're gonna fucking tell me that Smash Mouth and Hallelujah get beaten? I don't think so. I think you're wrong.
That's only 2 though. We've listed how many for this one? Like
No,
8?
Smash Mouth had fucking All Star and now I'm a believer, and that
Okay,
is
alright.
perfect for Shrek. That is
I
like
I think that I Need a Hero sequence and need the entirety, just like with the way.
Hallelujah
I think-
scene. Break my heart. My heart.
I don't think it's. I really. And then when Donkey kind of when they're about to transform and it's raining, the music that they're playing over that is music that they play when Shrek is settling down for his night alone in his
Yeah,
house.
yeah.
And it's like somber, kind of nice music.
Mhm.
And the other thing I noticed there was like Puss in Boots, even though he was mean to Donkey, was actually like petting Donkey in that scene.
Yeah. But then he
And then they're
immediately
best
is
friends
like, hey,
afterwards.
let's shave him.
But in line with the music, I think the animation for this movie was even more impressive than the first one. Like Far Far Away
Oh
is
yeah.
hella detailed, and like
Yeah.
of course it's like 3 years later, and they had over double the budget, so that makes sense. But they they added all the detail that I was kind of missing in the first one. Like I know y'all said like the castle and Lord Farquaad's castle was kind of empty on purpose, but you didn't see any of that in this. There was detail everywhere and Far Far
Hmm.
Away.
Yeah. When it felt like
Yeah.
alive too. Like
Yeah.
but that's also because they were like trying to do that like Hollywood kind of vibe, I guess. Type of
Well, I
deal.
loved
But
how
What
like
I
every
noticed,
room was so uniquely
yeah.
designed. Like where it was like the father's room, like it had the frogs and the lilies and everything. And the mom's room was like a more shade, like a nice, easy colored shade, and like everything kind of showed something about her or people, or like the part where Shrek was looking up and it's Sir Justin, like her old crush
yeah.
and stuff. Like everything was so beautifully like decorated. I thought it was really well done.
I think one thing I
Man.
had read was that at the time, the fucking actress who played Fiona was dating Justin Timberlake. I think I'd read that
Really?
Cameron
on
Diaz?
IMDb. Yeah,
Cameron
Cameron
Diaz.
Diaz was dating Justin Timberlake, and they had kind of included that without knowing that. So then when that showed up in the movie, she was like, "Did y'all like know? Like what?" Because I think they were keeping that a secret for a while, or at least
That's
that's
funny.
that's what I think one of the things on the trivia had said that I had read. But
That's how good the Shrek writers are, man.
uh,
They know.
I
Uh,
noticed on the animation, like Puss's like the feather in his hat was ridiculous. Like I don't know, like in every scene it was in, and the way it blew in the wind, there were like separate tiny little fibers that were all reacting differently. I was like, holy shit! Like that caught my
Oh
attention.
yeah.
And the godmother's like sequence dress when she's doing the whole like
dude,
yes,
that
and
was
the bubbles,
impressive.
like the little thing, like the lighting and stuff for that time was really like I was really impressed with the sequence and the bubbles, like the lighting with those. That was cool.
Yeah, and the
Uh,
hair really like if you look at
hmm
Fiona's hair, there's like the little tiny like random
Yeah,
strands of gray hair and
yeah.
everything from this dress.
Hair
And
and fur looked really good, but like the I don't know the fibers on that feather, I was like, God damn, it looked good.
oh yeah,
What was it
I
weird
just was
that?
really what. Go ahead.
Oh, I mean, finish your thing, Doug.
Oh, I was just gonna say I felt like the animation was really timeless, and I think that contributes to like the enjoyment.
Ag-
I think.
I noticed the only thing I have to complain, and it's probably completely about the limitation, is that people just don't have blemishes. Like their skin is so like smooth. Like
Well,
they
yeah,
put little
yeah, that's
marks on
kind of
like
how
beauty marks and
animation used
stuff,
to
but it's
be.
just like smooth as hell. And yeah, it's not their fault. It's just one. It's
I almost
you
think
know
like
Fiona had
we're picky
freckles and
now.
I
stuff.
think
I thought Fiona had
Freckles, yeah, but
stylistically,
not like the I don't know. The skin just looks too. It looks like a sheen. It looks like Toy Story almost. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
uh-huh.
fair. Yeah.
Was it weird to y'all when the fairy godmother was talking about princesses to Shrek when she was like, "Oh, well, let's see what one that wasn't a sound logical argument saying that
Yeah.
oh, there aren't ogres and that's why they were happy." But anyways, do y'all think it was weird that she said the Little Mermaid included the Little Mermaid as one of the princesses?
No, I
No,
Like
don't
she's
know,
a
because it's
princess.
Princess Ariel.
Yeah.
well, yeah, but um at that time, and I don't think now, I don't know, I'm ignorant of things, but uh, I don't think DreamWorks had anything to do with anything Disney at that time.
No, and they never
Just
Well,
seems
have.
weird to
Yeah, I
kind of
mean,
put it
Little
in
Mermaid
there.
was a
it's
story before Disney, and
Yeah, Little
yeah,
I think it
Mermaid.
was
Oh,
past
well,
the
that's true. That's true.
yeah the copyright or whatever.
Also, I
All
thought it
right.
was funny that the Little Mermaid was kissing Shrek, and then Fiona threw her in,
Yeah,
threw
the
yeah,
her into
that
the
was
sharks
water.
fucking
great.
ate her.
Yeah.
They didn't need to put those sharks eating her in, but they did.
Yeah,
Like Jesus.
Talking
uh,
about what people don't need to do. The fairy godmother is like a psycho manipulative hoe. Okay, like she has infinity power with her magic and stuff as long as she's got her wand, I guess. But when they're switching Shrek and Prince Charming, they she doesn't use any of her magic to make Shrek like not want to pursue Fiona anymore. She just like she just manipulates him and destroys him with words instead, sending him spiraling into this depression. It's like that's so messed up. She could have
So
used some
He
power or
fucking
something, but
goes and
no,
does
she's just
shots at
evil.
a bar.
here's my take.
Yeah.
You guys ready for this fucking bombshell I'm about to
Hit
drop
us
on
with
you
it.
guys? So I think Fairy Godmother is supposed to be like the personification of like doubt and self like what is it? Self-deprecation, like so Shrek's not good enough and Fairy Godmother convinces him he's not good enough, he needs to be different. Convinces Fiona that shit's going wrong in her life and maybe she needs to reevaluate everything. But the biggest person in that movie that gets berated is the king
The king.
about being a fraud,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so he's been giving into Fairy Godmother this whole time, and it's projecting onto Shrek and Fiona. So
Meta.
Fairy Godmother gets beaten not by Shrek, not by Fiona, but when the king sacrifices his image and shows who he actually was,
Well,
and comes to terms with that, and then she gets beaten. Like
and
that's
more
what I
than
saw.
that,
Oh.
like I love the part where he switches the T's because like you don't really know what he's gonna do at that point. Like just watching it the first time, I was like,
Oh
oh
yeah,
shit, he
yeah.
gave her the love potion. But then at the end, you realize, oh no, he switched them so that way she could get what
No,
she
I mean you
actually
see that
wanted.
he switched them because
But like you
obviously
don't
he was
know at
gonna
that
have
point.
he was going.
No,
I
dude,
was pretty
I'm with
sure when he
Matthew.
had
I didn't see
the
that.
tease and was like, oh no, that one's decaf. It's for me. It'll
But
keep me
like,
Well,
up all
I
night.
thought she was going to choose the wrong one. Like that's what I thought.
Yeah,
yeah, that's what
yeah,
Oh,
that
I
was
thought
kind of what they were.
yeah.
right then is when I was like, oh, he had the change of heart.
We'll see. I guess
Nah.
that it's really up to interpretation.
Yeah,
I guess. Yeah.
So
I
thought he
guess they're
was
setting it
going
up.
to.
I think they're probably trying to produce the perspective that y'all are getting, but I don't know. I just watched
Yeah,
it
what I
wrong, I
saw was
guess.
like he was going to have the change of heart, and then he was like, "Oh no, that's mine," and then was like, "Hey, uh, oh no, that's mine. It's so," and then he was gonna poison her anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Right.
You
Yeah.
good?
You okay?
Uh-uh. So one thing that's back to because we were talking about music earlier and
Yeah.
changes. Uh, the interesting thing to note, or at least the trivia said this, was that the artist that they got to do it, David Bowie was so impressed with it that he actually ended up doing like the background vocals for it,
I
which
saw that.
I'm like,
Yeah, I
damn,
saw
that
that.
is
That's it. That's
such a
really
big
cool.
fucking compliment to I don't know who this is, but Butterfly Boucher. I don't know who that is, but props to you because
Wait,
like
is
that
that the
was
name?
of the
This the
artist who
band.
did
Yeah.
the
Oh,
oh
okay.
yeah but it's like damn dude that's fucking incredible like
No, yeah, I downloaded that song since that movie. I was like, I remembered it being good, and I was just like, yeah, Changes by David Bowie is good. And then I was like, oh, this is, and I got jamming. Like they
yeah
added good elements, but they kept true to the original. I was impressed with that one. Yeah.
yeah
Yeah, I
so
think the
I
music
guess
in this one was
the
better.
next big topic I guess with this is would y'all consider this to be like the perfect sequel
Oh, I'm not
as it were?
done.
Oh, you're not done?
I'm
You
not
can keep
done,
going.
Matthew. I got more things.
Go
We're
for
talking
it,
about
Just
the
man.
just
tea
a couple
again.
more. Just a
Yeah,
couple
go
more.
for it, dude. Go.
So one with Ben referenced Mongo earlier, the giant gingerbread man, and when I was first watching it, it had been a long time, so I forgot exactly how it ended the movie. But like they created a sentient being in this giant gingerbread man, poor
Oof.
Mongo, and they basically
Yeah,
just used his life up, and they were like, "All right, well, we made it through the bridge, nice
He's
guys."
alive at the end.
And
He's
yeah,
singing in the
you see him
water.
singing at the end, but he doesn't have arms and he's underwater. And I feel
Yeah.
like that's more just for the singing at the end. I feel like he was dead, you know?
Yeah.
Well, when they went to
yeah,
Drury Lane, they did the imagery like Frankenstein. So you see the whole concept of that
True.
philosophical argument, the disregard for the life they've created. It kind of comes full circle.
it does.
Dude, it was messed up. It hurt.
You reminded me of the Iron Giant, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I think that's what it was
Dude.
going for.
Yeah.
Where he says "be good." I think that was
Yeah.
a shout out to
You
that.
go, I
I
stay.
stay,
Yeah.
you go.
It's so sad.
Um,
Also, well, okay, I wasn't talking about manga. You can keep talking about manga if you want, Ross.
no, I'm not. No, I'm done. I'm done.
Okay.
I'm ready for the next point whenever y'all are.
So the third act of this movie, when the heroes are at their lowest point, they're in jail. Fiona's going to be with the wrong person, this and that. Then their friends come, break them out. Starting there is the third act of the movie. That is is a fucking ripoff of Princess Bride. 100%. You can't change my mind.
Oh.
So yeah, dude. So they get the big dude to scare away the gate guards and open the gate, and they open the gate, and there you go, you get in. And then Puss in Boots is you killed my Nuga Montoya, and he's there. And then
Oh, yeah.
and Shrek is like
Ignacio Montoya.
somebody's debilitated. Who's somebody's like kind of cryptic. That's just the way that Shrek talks to Prince Charming, or just like the Prince Charming and Humperdinck. That's like all I could see, yeah, like I all I could see was Princess Bride.
That's a good point, but maybe that's why it was
okay.
such a good part of the movie.
Well, yeah,
Uh,
but I mean, Princess Bride's timeless.
Yeah.
I haven't actually seen Princess Bride.
What?
Oh,
Get
I
on
know,
that,
it's
brother.
on my list of shame.
Dude.
Yeah.
yeah, we should do that for a podcast.
That's fucked up.
True. I
We should do that after this. I think it's on
I'm
Netflix.
I'm done.
I
with
No,
think
we
it
gotta
is.
finish Shrek.
But all right.
There's only two more.
That's for another day.
Well, yeah.
Let's see. So, what do y'all think? Is it a perfect sequel? Like, whenever you talk about perfect sequels, you're like, oh, okay, like Empire Strikes Back. Obviously, that's the perfect sequel, but for like an animated movie, this kind of really paved a unique, I guess, thing where usually you'd have like, oh, Aladdin 2, it's direct to video and it's fucking awful, and you want to gouge your eyes out while you watch it. But with this one, they actually had like a good budget behind it, and they actually seemed to care, So it's like, would y'all say this is the perfect sequel? I guess.
Yeah. So honestly, when you first posed this question, I thought you were like kind of insane, but after rewatching it, especially right after watching the first one, I don't know, man. My mind could be changed. Like the setup and the connections to the first actually made sense as to where they're going as the next step for the story of Shrek, and rather than just like, oh, it's blank 2 because we want more money, type of shit. So like, I thought they did it really well. I don't know if it's perfect, but it was damn near, if not.
Yeah, I thought it was absolutely incredible. I thought it was probably one of the better sequels I've seen in my entire life. I would say it's better than Empire Strike Back, honestly.
Well, I don't know
Oh
about
my
that.
Shut up.
Best movie ever.
Yeah, I
Shrek.
agree with Ross though. Like, just as far as taking the characters that you already know and like you already know what their vibe is, and just expanding on it, as well as introducing new characters that interact with them in unique ways.
Yeah, tell them.
Yeah,
But like, so in the first one they meet, fall in love, and then get married, and then the second one they've known each other for just a bit, they've had their honeymoon, and now it's like, all right, you got to meet the parents too. Totally makes sense. It started off right away. Okay, we're meeting parents. It's like love it and whatnot. For this one, for the next one, totals for me as a continuation. Next one.
yeah. Well, and that's what a sequel should, like he shouldn't be okay. We're
First.
gonna fucking go to Atlantis or whatever in the third Aladdin movie, where it's like, what? Like, what? Why is this all of a sudden like an Indiana Jones like knockoff with the fucking Hand of Midas or whatever? But
I mean, here's my answer. Like, it's is it the greatest sequel ever made? I don't know. It's subjective, but I will say that like
subjective
sequels, whatever sequels are really, really impressive and stand out to me. And I think everybody, like in the test of time, when the first movie is successful, it's not a cash grab because nobody knows it. So you have to make it good to be that successful. First Shrek was that. To maintain that, to not do another, like you're saying, like another cash grab, to actually have these adult themes, these references, the amount of work they put in as much work into this movie as I saw.
If not more,
maybe more. Yeah, maybe more.
I would say more.
So that's really impressive, and I have to give a lot of props to that because the sequels, greatest sequels of all time, have done this. Terminator 2, Empire Strikes Back, the timeless RoboCop 2.
oh god.
No, but like the sequels
Mad
that stay
Max
with
and
people.
Road Warrior. Yeah, that's
Right.
Yeah,
the
the
sequels
Road
that stay with
Warrior.
people continue to evolve, like continue to make, like improve the movie. The sequels that honestly, if you make a bad sequel, it makes your entire series just kind of, oh, I guess I just
Spider-Man
watched the
2.
first one.
Oh yeah, and if
Right.
you keep plugging more, then it's
I
like,
think it
okay,
takes
it's even worse and more cash grab.
I think it takes an original and a sequel that are both like 10 out of 10s, and then your series is timeless. You can do whatever the fuck you want. You can put Jar Jar Binks in it, and then
Yep.
everybody's gonna love it. It's like whatever.
Oh,
Yeah, you
God.
made 2 great movies. You can ride on that for all time and make billions of dollars.
Yeah, I think that I feel like there was almost like Shrek was what they wanted to do, and what they did with like Shrek 1 was what they did on a budget, and Shrek 2 was what they fulfilled with, unlimited resources. Shrek
Mhm.
3 is how we make money.
Yeah, they got like the
So,
cast is crazy.
Mhm.
yeah,
John
it was
Cleese, and Julie Andrews, and
yeah, it was
give them the big bucks.
absolutely insane.
Yeah, I mean, DreamWorks killed it with both of these. They did a great job, and I don't know. We were fortunate to have these grown up, especially Shrek.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. I guess the only other thing I really wanted to discuss that was in the trivia that I've been curious about pretty much since I was a kid was when Donkey drinks the potion, he turns into a horse. And for years, I was like, okay, well, what did Dragon turn into? Because you don't see Dragon at all, except in
Yeah.
maybe she's in the ending credits song, but she's in Far Far Away Idol as well. But I was
Mhm.
always like, what the fuck happened to her? Like, did she turn into anything? And I had gone out with someone who was like, "Oh, she was already beautiful, so she doesn't change into anything." And I was like, "That's a
That's
bullshit
bullshit.
excuse."
Yeah,
No. And in the fucking IMDb trivia, they address that and they say that
Really?
originally she was going to turn into a Pegasus, but they cut that from the story and it's like that would have been fucking
That would have
rad.
that
been
would have
neat.
been
Yeah.
That would have
so
been funny because
cool.
Donkey would have been like, "Look how hot I am," and then she's a fucking unicorn. He's like, "God damn it!"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lord.
But yeah, so that's something that I was always like explain that, please, you know?
That's a good one because I totally forgot about Dragon in this movie, and when Donkey drank
Yeah.
it, I was like, but who's turning into what for him?
Yeah.
But it would have been Dragon, I guess, as a Pegasus.
So we're talking
Interesting.
about things that might not make sense, huh? I got a little bit of a list here. So,
Oh god.
Sure.
Shrek gets put in jail, right? He gets put on nights and televised, and his friends watch it, and they're like, "Oh my god, we got to rescue Shrek!" So
They
this
got
was
there
all
so
one night,
fast.
right?
Hmm.
Bro, that was over 700 miles. There were
Yeah.
signposts. They drove 700,000 in a night.
Are
I
we
don't
there
even know how
yet?
that would be possible. Second of all, they go into the potion place, the Godmother's workshop, and they pull their potion out. All these potions break. Big tidal wave of potion. Boo, 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 boo. Giant disaster. And they go, "Oh my god, what's the damage?"
Only
And
one's
they go,
missing.
"Yeah, there's one unaccounted potion." What the fuck? It
How?
destroyed
We
your
saw
operation.
multiple break.
Yeah. Uh, thirdly, what was it? Yeah. So Shrek obviously doesn't love Fiona as intensely as they want you to believe, because when Godmother locks him in his fucking room, and he's like, "No, I gotta talk to Fiona,"
She
and
can
he's
see
like
him.
screaming. No, well, not just that. It's what is he yelling through, Ross? Like, what is that in between him and Fiona?
Glass?
Glass? Yeah, like a window. What is he? He's covered, surrounded in furniture. Just fucking
They're
throw
far,
something.
dude. It's
Break
because
the
movie. Come on, that
window.
one's not that bad.
No, that was
No, I
stupid.
thought
Took
that
me
was
out, man.
horrible because
It's a
like the
magic
night.
window. She put a spell on it, you
The
know?
No,
woman
it
you
It's
was
a
love,
horrible
talking window.
Mary.
because no. It was worse because the night before that, the father references the fight that they were having in their room, which is like that they weren't having as far away, but Shrek was not
Okay, alright.
screaming for his life. I think it was kind of bad.
No, they both
Okay,
had an open
fair.
patio. They both had an open patio. When the father heard the fight,
Yeah, but
and the
he's
patios were
banging on the
near each
glass
other.
and screaming as loud as he could. He could probably
Well, the
be hearing her.
patio is open to the
I don't
outside.
think that's like as open of a plot hole because that one's up to debate, kind
It's
of.
not like this one is not a
It
plot
is
hole.
a
The
little
window
bit.
is not a plot hole. It's just that Shrek doesn't love Fiona that much. That's it.
I mean, yeah.
I also think it's
He doesn't
stupid
love her
that
enough
like
to break the window.
like Donkey's voice is the same and Fiona's voice is the same after they have the potion. So why is she just like, "Oh yeah, of course Shrek is
Oh,
going to sound different." It's like, "No. That doesn't make any sense."
maybe because his voice was so goddamn ugly that it
It's
had
because
to
she
change
wanted.
that too.
Look, It's because she
I
wanted
like
to
Shrek
sleep
voice.
with Prince Charming and then be like, well, how was I
Jeez.
supposed to know? And
Oh,
because
genius.
that's the only way you get away with it.
Dude, I've only been fucking this ogre for years,
Yeah, right.
man.
Like, you gotta
Let's
taste the
get
different
something.
fruits,
She wouldn't even
know what to
kiss the
compare it
dude.
to.
Come on.
Yeah.
I mean,
At the end, once
Him
she
and his
knew.
fucking cherry flavored lip gloss or whatever.
Yeah.
there's got to be dudes out there who, with women experience, they like just skip the first base, just fucking go for it, and
Good
then we're
lord.
done. That's what Fiona had
Yikes.
in her ace up her sleeve, and she didn't go for it. I think I respect her for that's what she was trying to do. A little respect for that.
Good for
You
you,
go,
dude.
girl.
What a
Thanks.
saint.
Oh, well, one scene I did want to talk about in particular is the dinner party scene. That's like
Yeah.
one of the most perfect like comedy gags as far as like timing all of the sounds of them like tearing the food apart with the music and stuff. Like that's a great scene. I don't
That's a
know if y'all
standout.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
This
I
movie's
think that's the best
editing
scene
was
to me.
just so good.
Everybody likes the holding out for a hero, but I do like that dinner scene a lot. I
Oh,
think it's
yeah.
my favorite altogether. But
Yeah, for sure.
well, it's because that's when you get to see the most of the adult themes, and I'm a very mature movie watcher, so it was satisfying. I was like, yes.
Well, and see, and that's like I'm glad we have that perspective on it because at least for me anyways, it's like I'll watch pretty much anything and find something good out of it. But that's why it's interesting just this whole franchise, I think just having more adult themes in a movie that's meant for kids makes it more enjoyable for everyone. But
Mm-hmm.
And for longer.
yeah,
Like, now I
exactly.
still love them.
And
Oh yeah.
I really like how Shrek and Fiona's lesson learned is not as big as the father's. Like, the parents were the ones that, well, the mom was chill, but the father was the one that had to really like have a character development. And he wasn't even the focus of the movie. He was bold
Yeah.
for them to do that.
And I mean, in the beginning, Shrek was being like slightly unreasonable, but the dad was like being a dick. So
Right.
it makes sense that they have
Oh, I'd totally have been Shrek in that situation.
relative.
Like, you bring me to your parents, and they like, come on, like, look at me, like
Look at me.
Yeah,
Come on.
I'd be pissed.
So
And then if the dad started being a dickhead, I'd be like, yeah, this is what I fucking thought.
yeah,
So,
I thought it was really interesting. I think the only problem that I had with this movie, honestly, was the fact that Puss in Boots could have not been there, and basically everything would have been the same.
yeah,
I don't know.
True, but like I think him being there did add to my enjoyment of the movie.
Having your father-in-law hire a hitman to kill you.
Oh yeah, you
And
do need that
then,
part, but he doesn't need to be
yeah.
with them, I think is what Harlan's saying.
Yeah,
Like he doesn't need to
Okay,
join
yeah.
them.
Yeah.
he doesn't need to be there. He didn't
Shrek
need
took
to
that
be
really
the
well, by the way.
hitman.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he didn't give a fuck.
He's just like,
I mean, he
God
kind of
damn
did,
it!
but
It's like
I
the
knew
cat's
he didn't
so
like
cute.
me. He wanted to kill me. Man, that's the worst. And he's also a little fragile there with having complete breakdown of insecurities and stuff with Fiona's childhood diary when she was like 9.
Oh, dude, that scene is like kind of scary because like
Yeah.
it's like the Mrs. Fiona Charming thing when it's like he's going through it and it's just the same fucking thing over and over. Like, god damn.
Yeah.
It's like yikes. So I guess the
Well,
next thing.
that's like me going through my wife. Like, I get married to the woman I love. I go through her diary, and she's like, "Oh my god, I want to marry Nick Jonas," and I'm like, "Rah!
Yeah.
You don't
Fuck
love me."
that
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a bit different. It's like if you were black and then like you're going through your wife's journal and then she's talking about every
Oh.
single white dude she wants to date and there's never a mention.
I mean,
I
it's
don't know.
only one
Okay.
dude though.
Okay.
But it is more like that than like it's not black and white, I suppose. Oh shit!
Well,
What?
actually, it sounds like it is.
Okay. All right.
So which do we think is better, Shrek 1 or Shrek 2?
I think Shrek 2 is better.
I do as well.
For me, it's still Shrek 1 because of the memes, and the fact that it created the story. That it just pushes it over for me. I don't know. It's probably mostly nostalgia, but this one was damn fine.
Man, is like Shrek 2 is I can say that it's like from a movie standpoint better, like with what they did with the movie, but I enjoy Shrek 1 more. I don't know how much of that is nostalgia, but like I just feel like the harder hitting moments in Shrek 1 hit harder than Shrek 2. Shrek 2, you know, it does that a little bit, but I think I relate more with
Yeah, I
the
feel
characters
that.
in Shrek 1. I like the struggles they go through more in Shrek 1 and then the people they are afterwards. But Shrek 2 is really good. Like it's hard to compare. But I
Yeah,
think
one
again,
I
it's
don't
I'm gonna
know.
like
have
I
to go
feel
with
like
they
Shrek
Goat.
1 was all about like how Fiona was changing and she had accepted it, and then Shrek 2 was kind of like Shrek accepting
No,
him
man,
being an
I
ogre.
mean,
Shrek
Shrek
was just
changed
like Shrek was
in the
like I
first
hate
one.
everybody. No one's allowed in my swamp. And then he softens a little bit with Donkey, and then he falls in love. I mean, come on,
Come
he goes
on,
through
son.
changes.
Eh,
Come on now, you can't be that. You can't be
I thought
that
it was
bad.
really interesting the fact that like Fiona like screamed when she turned back into a human as all. Like I thought that was kind of cool.
yeah.
Yeah,
She was like,
yeah.
"Oh
I
my
mean, there
God,
was
I'm
good
hideous
there was
again."
good development in both, for sure.
Yeah. When it's like they're almost complementary in that way. Like it is hard
Because it's a good
to
sequel.
choose. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah. Anyone got
they kind
any?
of need to be watched together.
Yeah. Anyone have any final thoughts besides what we've kind of discussed? Any other notes
Uh,
that you took that?
This hit me.
Nah,
I don't know if
just
I'm stupid. Like if I just ignored this and I didn't realize it till now, and I was like, "Whoa!" But the like Shrek thing that like da 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 da. It's like it's fucking Hallelujah from the first movie. It is.
yeah,
You're like da 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 da. I was like, wow, neat. It blew my mind. I don't know.
yeah,
I
they
guess
have that in
if
both
everyone did.
movies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
it just took me this long. It took me
Oh,
23 years of existing to be like,
okay.
wait.
All right, that's fine.
So that's all I got.
I just thought it was like still witty as fuck. Like they kept the writing going from the first one. Didn't really fall off, and then I don't know, man. I just generally enjoyed watching it. Both of them, but two, which I wasn't expecting as much.
Yeah, I guess the only thing I'd really like to add is that Fairy Godmother, way better villain than Farquaad in the
Oh,
first one.
Oh
absolutely.
Like,
yeah.
just and that's kind of one of the things that pushes me
Mm,
towards liking this
I don't
one
know
Tell
about
us
that
more.
why,
one.
Ben.
Yeah,
So you telling me the gingerbread torture scene? I don't think Fairy Godmother got to those levels of depravity.
Okay, come on.
I
And
don't
I
know,
love
but
the short
like,
little dude. No, there's too many people. There's too many people that exist in this world. And I'm like, look at that dude. He's like fucking Lord Farquaad. You know how many people I've said, look at that dude. They're like Fairy Godmother. Nobody. Lord Farquaad, more long lasting. Boom.
Okay, like Lord
I mean,
Farquaad in physical looks or
Everything.
personality?
I'm
Both.
everything.
sure Lord
Oh
Farquaad
God.
was certainly more iconic. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
However,
Because his
I would
stupid ass
say
It's because
face.
he's
that
better.
he was not as good of a villain. He wasn't written as well as Fairy Godmother.
He
And
had
how
better
many
lines. He
people,
had better
Ben,
dialogue.
you say you see Lord Farquaad and a bunch of people you see. Are they all villains? No. They're
His
normal
name
people.
is
They're not
Fuckwad.
villains. Is so?
It's incredible. It is so.
Irrelevant.
It's a children's movie. It's
I never knew
groundbreaking.
that until Matthew's fun facts.
He had a boner in bed that he had to
Yeah, that
hide.
was
we
like
didn't did we
I didn't know
discuss
what a
that
boner
last
was though
time?
when I first watched it.
Well,
No, we
now you
didn't
can go
discuss that
rewatch
last
Shrek
time.
for the boner. I mean, I don't know. It's up to
You don't know
them.
what a boner is?
Yeah. And
Nah,
the
explain to
fucking
me.
he goes like,
Oh
what is
God.
he?
When your
He's
pee-pee gets all hard.
No. No.
Let's not.
Yeah, we're not going there.
some of you may die, but that is a risk I am willing to take.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
a
I'm not
great
saying he
line.
was
There's
bad.
good.
I'm
Yeah,
just
there's
saying the
Right.
fairy godmother's better.
yeah.
What'd she say that's comparable to that?
I'm not saying as far as one-liners go, but I'm saying as far as like motivations go. Like all
You're right,
Farquaad
Ben. I
wants to do
think
is
that
fucking get married and be a
Right.
perfect king.
And she was much scarier too,
Yeah.
All she
at
wanted
least
to
for
do was
me.
to have her
Even
son get
now.
married and be a perfect king.
Yeah, basically. I mean,
That's more disconnected.
but I'm saying it's
Yeah, but
like,
she used much scarier means to find her ends,
yeah,
and she was all throughout
yeah,
this movie. And Lord
Is she more
Farquaad was like
intimidating?
in the
Yes, I
beginning
will
and at
give
the
you that.
end.
yeah.
She is more intimidating. You're right.
And it's
she's
just
a better villain. Farquaad is more
Her
iconic.
character is
yeah.
more developed.
Okay, I'll agree
Right.
with Harlan on that. Yeah.
She's a better villain. Farquaad's more iconic.
Yeah.
Nope. Wrong. But try again next week.
3-1,
You're
boy.
the only one that thinks that, bud.
I'll die on
You're
this
the
hill.
only one who
Three-
does.
That's fine.
All right, so anyone got anything they want to plug? Any Twitters or
Yeah, check out my new
Yes.
Instagrams?
book, Killing
Follow
Time.
my Twitch. It's twitch.tv/elharlito. We'll be
Hey,
hopping on there anytime now.
what were you saying, Ben? You writing a book?
No.
All right.
No, I was taking credit
Well,
for Bill O'Reilly's book. It's not me.
well,
I know.
I mean, if you want to plug someone else's stuff, that I guess it's okay, but
Mm.
it's free advertising.
You're gonna plug Bill
Hey,
O'Reilly's
backfired.
stuff?
It backfired.
How about you, Ross? Got anything?
I'm gonna be starting a podcast sometime in the next week or two, where I have people from hopefully different-ish backgrounds, discuss I don't know, topics that affect people in their daily lives and their communities. But it's still getting fleshed out. It's in the early stages of development, so stay tuned.
All right. And then the only other thing, I guess, is check out Hey Ocarina, but that's where this is going to be uploaded to. But if you're listening to this on Spotify or anything, check out youtube.com, Hey Ocarina. That's our channel. So, anyways, guys, till next time, may all of your endings be happy.